Hello, my name is Zhatelier. Welcome back for another episode of Valhalla Vanguard in Aurora 4X. And, well, previous episode we basically spent doing nothing but explaining what happened between the episodes. Ah, whaler. Okay, we got another set of whalers for the Humir fleet here. And we got a decent bit of fuel. We'll probably equalize the fuel a little bit. We are currently producing 12.5 million liters per year over here. I mean, we've got 16 whalers here, so that would explain the majority of that. Now, some of these do have rather high crew months already here. But they're civilians, it doesn't really matter that much. Right, is there... Oh, we could have 190 million liters on this. It's not going to be filling up very quickly to the max, so technically, if I was to do a better version of the whaler, I could probably drop the fuel tanks quite a bit and put in some extra fuel production in there, and that would make them a bit more efficient, but I haven't designed that quite yet. Just gonna get back to 21st day. I'm not gonna worry about the Aurora right now, to save up some time. Just gonna track that to the side there so it's not getting into the way. And yes, Njord has a bit of a problem with the overcrowding. They are producing a little bit of infrastructure yearly, but it's not very high. But the thing is, they have plenty of available workers. And we got one garrison unit here, which is basically keeping the population in check. So we don't really need to worry about that one right now. And we are increasing the mining and construction capabilities of the colony here. And essentially, we'll get some maintenance stuff here as well, so we can maybe keep some of the... or maintain some of the explorer ships in here instead of back in Valhalla, because Valhalla is starting to be a bit far away from the frontiers. But it will take a while before our explorers are ready to go. I want to get the upgraded sensors and such for the explorers, just because it's going to be, well, essentially it's going to be much more efficient fuel-wise, and much more efficient in actually doing the exploration. Therefore, it's going to take a while before we start exploring again. We do have one ship that is in Moonin, but I read the range a bit wrong. So it was trying to go somewhere where it didn't actually have the range. Now we finished up some more fuel refineries in Valhalla, which means that, okay, so we're currently producing 8.7 million liters per year over here. So that's already 20 million in Humir being produced, which again still is not very high. But if we have a look at, actually, so Njord has one fuel refinery right now, but that's rather small amounts of fuel. But then if we have a look at the other whaling fleets, so that's Trant is producing about 4 million per year, and then we got one in Sjofn that is producing about 800,000 per year, which is fine because that's probably going to be mostly a refueling station for some exploration from that area, and maybe some small amounts for the shipping, but Nostrand is probably going to be primarily the shipping gas station. But yeah, I'm starting to be a bit concerned about the... Well, first of all, we haven't really faced any precursors yet. Or if we have, they've been so far away from the center of the system that we haven't actually met them. Low fuel for the Longbow 1. Right, so we're going to have to stop that for the time being, but it should be able to get back home. It's going to almost run out of fuel, most likely. But it's not the end of the world. Team skill for the diplomatic team has increased to 175. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Basically, we're just trying to... Oh, research completed for the producer science launcher. And then we started research on the missile agility. 64 per missile size point. Okay, and after that, I mean, we could still get the next produced launcher size back to 1/4 of regular size. Reload time is 100 times at that point. Doesn't cost too much, but at the same time, we might want to get the... Here's the question. Do I want to start increasing some of the other stuff, or maybe I will add in that reduced size over there again. Now we are going to get the ultraviolet laser soon. Not that we'll necessarily be using much lasers, but we might be for at least some of the bigger ships. Like I plan on making I suppose some sort of beam-fighter ship that is going to have a decent bit of weaponry, probably of somewhere around 10 to 15,000 tons. It will basically be either to move in and take out the enemy, if possible, or if enemy is sending in ships close, then it can shoot down the enemy ships. Then of course we will make some better missile ships, or missile cruisers or something like that later on. Oh right, and that reminds me, the first missile destroyer that we have, I have named Halvar, because that was one of the requested things, and later on we'll probably make some sort of missile cruiser or something that we'll name after Halvar later on, but we do need to increase the salvo sizes quite a bit for this to be actually useful. But now that we got the 1/3 size of I think if we wait for the next level, the 1/4 of size of the launchers, we can then basically almost quadruple the size of the launchers. Of course, I think each launcher will take a bit more crew, so that's going to be a small issue, but not a very big one. Okay, unrest are still a thing in Njord, but that's not actually an issue. It's just clocking up the message board there. Okay, Fraser is... Actually, let's have a look. How much do we have minerals in the Valhalla Moon 9 now? 6,500. That might be enough to send in a freighter and pick those up and bring them to Valhalla. So we do have a freighter available as the Fraser 4, I believe. And does this... No, this is one of the older designs, but that's fine. Let's go to Nostran, go to Valaskiel, go to the Moon 9, and load all minerals. And back to Nostrand. We got plenty of fuel, so I don't need to worry about that one right now. Back to Humir. And Valhalla, unload all minerals. There we go. That's going to keep it busy for a while. And we'll get some more minerals to work with in Valhalla, so it's a win-win. Other than the fact that we will be using a little bit of fuel. Aha! Inactive lab. Right, we started researching the meson focusing technology 3, so that's going to increase the range for our mesons, or the fighters, that where they can shoot, but it's still not going to be very big, in all honesty. We do have the inactive lab. Let's have a look. Is that something that we... Yeah, we just produced that. Okay, I think I'm going to put that for the missile research, because the agility is going to be useful, and with the increased agility we can then replace some of the agility for potential new missiles, because we have researched the basically another generation missile engines, as I think I did mention that in previous episode. But the problem was that that would drop the range quite a bit for the missiles, if we don't want them to be missing everything, basically. I mean, sure enough, the engines will increase the likelihood of hitting a little bit, just probably not enough. Right, so the meson... anything else that we'd like to get here? I thought we started... the flight control speed rating is already there. We could technically get the turret tracking speed up. Queue up that one. And for the power and propulsion... do I not have anything queued up there? No, I think I do have. I do have the reactor power boost 10% queued up there, so that should be okay. Right, so we have gotten a fair bit of infrastructure already here, but we will need more. We're getting more maintenance facilities just so that we can then maintain the 15,000 ton ships that we'll probably have sooner or later. But for those we need to get the better, not bigger, what they call the jump drives. Speaking of which, how we don't have the efficiency 8 right now. That would be useful for them, because that would keep the size of the engines at around 2,000 tons, I believe, which is still a reasonable, or rather sizable portion, but a lot smaller than, say, 5,000. Right, we are gonna get the damage control this year. It's actually gonna be useful. I think after that we should start researching the better armor. I'm just gonna queue up that one already. You can save off some space on the ships, that would be nice. The longboat, wow, let's actually have a look at the Moonin. How far away are they? They're actually pretty close to the jump points. Well, there's still some ways to go, but... okay, so it's probably going to take at least a month before they reach there. Fair enough. They will run rather low on fuel, I'm afraid. Now, one thing that I could do for exploring, especially Moonin, at least the first couple planets, I could set up very long-range missiles that would then have, basically instead of a warhead, they would have the second stage that is essentially just a survey buoy. Now what I could do is I could fire the missiles from here to waypoints that have been set onto the planet. For example, this one, I don't remember, have a look at the system information here. That is Super Jovian. It might have fuel, but the distance is 99 billion kilometers from the center. Yeah, that is a bit long. Probably should have checked that before I send the Explorer away. I mean, there are some asteroids that we could still explore here, and we could maybe set up some mining operations in Moonin. But the distances are huge. We have gotten some information about the comets over here, but none of them... well, this one has a decent bit of stuff. Uranium... actually, it does have mercasium. Oh, that's some corundium. That's not actually a bad comet to start mining on. Hold on, that reminds me. I mean, yeah, let's create a colony there. I know that I could use some other screens for doing the colony there as well, but I figured that I'll do it from here since I had sight on it already, more or less. So is the tug currently sitting at the base? Yes, it is. A bit low on fuel. Why don't we send you to refuel, then go to the Harvester Shipyard, track to the Fisherman, then go to Moonin, and then go to the Comet, move 2, release tractor ships, and then go back to Shimir and Valhalla. We can start mining a little bit there. I mean, it's not necessarily the best place since we don't have a jump ship or jump tender keeping that open. There's also that one which is rather far away from Shimir by the looks of it. But we might want to explore that sooner rather than later. Maybe we'll send Axelian through there, although there are places that we do need to send a lot of the explorers still. I suppose it is a possibility, once Axelian has been retooled, and that shouldn't take long. As a matter of fact. Oh, it's already bringing the ship over here, so that's a quick one. That's a very quick one. New scientist, interest increasing. Low fuel, I mean, I know we've got 8%, that's not very high to be fair. If we had the fuel, we would keep just oilers somewhere around here. Aha! So Axelian has been refitted. Now we can start refitting the next one. Or we'll check how expensive refitting is compared to building a new one. Actually, refit 2 from Longbow 2 seems to be roughly the same cost. I think. So look, refit details. %93%. I mean, it's technically still less. I mean, we don't have gear available right now anyway. I'll save up a little bit of time. Now, it's going to be done in September next year. Okay, that's going to take a while. Which is why we are trying to get the next slipway there, but that's also taking quite a while. We could build more point defense if we wanted to, but right now, since we are having a fuel shortage, we got 8 million liters now at Valhalla, but still, it's not very much. And if we have a look, is there any... Oh god, there's a lot of red there. There's some of the fishermen that have a decent bit of fuel. But their max capacity isn't actually all that great, but that's not really an issue. Tug has a decent bit of fuel. That's fair. That's very fair. Right, and we need to give Axelian the orders to go explore that new place. Why don't you refuel? Because you are going to need more fuel. And we do have the fuel to refuel you. Right, so take the fuel, then go to Moonin. And go through there. The standard orders will be Mix 5 and 3 system locations. Who knows, it might be an empty place. Or it might not be. Okay, Explorer 2 is already here, so we can be quite assured that once the Explorer 1 reaches that, it's gonna be home in no time at all. But yeah, this trip is gonna take a while. Shipyard modified missile destroyers, so we could build another one, but at the same time, since we know that those designs are currently a bit poor in quality, let's actually have a look real quick. If we have a take the missile launcher, just want to check the crew requirements. We go for size 3, for example. Oh, it doesn't actually require crew, does it? No, it does. Crew per launcher. 9. And third size require... Oh! Interesting, so we wouldn't actually need as much crew, so that would free up more room for things. Huh. I think I'm gonna wait for the 1/4 size real or the launchers so we can fit a lot more, and the hull size requirements will be a bit more pleasing to the eye. But yeah, at least we are back to exploring a little bit now. Now I wonder, we have the freighters going back and forth. We might have gotten more factories in Njord now. 22 and 27 mines. That's good. We are producing a fair bit of things here. And we are producing the maintenance facilities here now, which are going to be useful. We haven't gotten any so far, but once we get up to... well, that will get us to 1,000 tons, which is not enough for our needs. But then we can later on increase it a bit by bit. Frankly, we might want to... You know what? We are going to build another 500 of that. We're going to go with 10%. Then we're going to modify this to be 25. It's going to take a lot longer, but we're going to then lower this to, I don't know, go with 40%. Yeah, that there. I do want to get the terraforming installation done as quickly as possible. I mean, sure enough, since the oxygen level is the limiting factor here, it will not become less than 2, or the colony cost, until we get the oxygen high enough. But at least we can get that started, is my reasoning there. Then we'll be producing more fuel refineries after the terraforming facility. We got 100,000 liters of fuel here, which is quite pathetic, but at least it's better than nothing. Alright, so we should be reaching the Comet 4 soon enough. Command assignment for the Fisherman 11. Oh, we got another Fisherman. We'll probably bring it to the Comet here as well. Just because we can. But we should probably start producing another one. And assign that to the Harvester Shipyard. I decided to make another task crew for them, so for example, when I'm using the task to take the stuff to other systems, I don't need to go through a long list of things at the Shipyard group. I mean, if we have a look at the Shipyard task group, I'm pretty sure that it has some of Athenians at least and such. Yeah, it has one. The colony ship that was in Fraser 1, I put it down there, and then it has 3 Asians. They are gathering some task force training over there. Let's have a look at the Patrol 1. They're gathering a little bit. I mean, the Athenians have 100% task force training already, but the Halvar, not so much. But I mean, it hasn't been out to the open yet or anything like that. Actually, since I was there, I might as well have checked the Ymir fleet. It has 3 million liters of fuel, not very much, in other words. That one still has... no, it has 2 million liters now. Nostrand has 1.2 million. We'd really need to get more whalers to this fleet, quite frankly. So we can keep the Ymir whalers more for the military purposes, and then for the shipping we can use the Nostrand ones. Currently the shipping is one of the things using most fuel. Okay, it should be able to reach there with the remaining fuel. Did we? No, it was just one commander died, so one of the fishermen got a new captain. 1% of max fuel. Let's have a look. Oh, supply of neutronium in Humir A1. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for the accessibility of uranium to drop a little bit, then we'll start shipping the automated mines away from here. We'll leave a little bit there just to make sure that we mine all of it out, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, the Explorer doesn't have fuel at all. What we can do is, first of all, let's select the ship, the Oiler. I know that you don't have a huge amount of fuel, but we can fix that. Got 6 million there. Let's just get, I don't know, 2 million. And then we're going to go to the Explorer 1. You're going to refuel the target fleet, then you're going to move back to Valhalla. Should be enough to refuel it. Yeah, run out of fuel. That's fine. Is it going to let us go? No, only 2 hours at a time. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can actually see what's going on in here. So the Oiler, well, it's going to take a while to get there. Oh, it's smaller and smaller increments. Well, that's annoying. Oh, right. What about if we just take your orders away? I'm gonna have to take that one away as well. No condition. And remove all. So now we should be able to get there. There we go. And Explorer 1. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you to Valhalla. You don't actually need to refuel, but you do need to begin an overhaul, I think. Then we'll do the rest later. It's gonna even up the day here, since it's fairly easy to do. Oh, ship skill of the diplomatic team is now 180. That's starting to be quite insane. Quite insane indeed. Now then, we should be getting Zhatelier and exploring the new place soon. So let's have a look. Moonin, well, actually, it's not that close. It's halfway there. And target is also about halfway to the comet. Oh, but I think we are actually out of time for this episode. So, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, drop. If you haven't already, also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.